General Edward Airport, Addis Information Alpha, time 05390 Zulu, wind 250 at 10, visibility 10, temperature 26, dew point 16, altimeter 3008 remarks, no pattern work landing runways 22 right and 22 left. Departing runways 22 right, 22 left and 33 left, NOTAMs, event in progress, check forum for event information and expect delays advise on initial contact, you have information Alpha. General Edward Airport, Addis Information Alpha, time 05390 Zulu, wind 250 at 10, visibility 10, temperature 26, dew point 16, altimeter 3008 remarks, no pattern work landing runways 22 right and 22 left. Departing runways 22 right, 22 left and 33 left, NOTAMs, event in progress, check forum for event information and expect delays advise on initial contact, you have information Alpha. General Edward Airport, Addis Information Alpha, time 05390 Zulu, wind 250 at 10, visibility 10, temperature 26, dew point 16, altimeter 3008 remarks, no pattern work landing runways 22 right and 22 left. Departing runways 22 right, 2. General Edward Ground, General Edward Ground, Delta 350 Super, ready for pushback with information Alpha. Air Canada 312 flight of 2, taxi to runway 22 right, hold short of left INE 893. Delta 350 Super, pushback approved, tail to the west. Taxiing to runway 22 right, will hold short of left INE 893, Air Canada 312 flight of 2. Air Canada 737, request permission to cross runway 33 left. Air Canada 737, cross runway 33 left. Crossing runway 33 left, Air Canada 737. Air Canada 737, request permission to cross runway 33 right.
General Edward Ground, Maple 275, ready to taxi with information Alpha.
Air Canada 737, cross runway 33 right. Crossing runway 33 right, Air Canada 7... General Edward Ground, Delta 350 Super, ready to taxi with information Alpha. Maple 275, taxi to runway 33 left, hold short of 4 left 22. Delta 350 Super, taxi to runway 33 left, hold short of 4 left 22 right.
Taxiing to runway 33 left, will hold short of 4 left 22 right, Maple 275.
Jet 611, contact General Edward Tower on 128.8. Contacting General Edward Tower on 128.8, Jet 611. Delta 350 Super, say intentions. General Edward Tower, Delta 350 Super, ready for departure at runway 22 right, remaining in the pattern. Air Canada 737, wind 280 at 9er, runway 22 right, cleared for takeoff. Cleared for takeoff, runway 22 right, Delta 350 Super, contact General Edward Ground on 121.75. Air Canada 737, wind 280 at 9er, runway 22 right, cleared for takeoff. General Edward ground, Delta 350 Super, ready to taxi with information Alpha. Air Canada 985 Charlie Alpha, contact General Edward Tower on 128.8. Air Canada 312 flight of 2, request permission to cross runway 15 left. Contacting General Edward Tower on 128.8, Air Canada 985 Charlie Alpha. Air Canada 312 flight of 2, cross runway 33 left. Crossing runway 33 left, Air Canada 312 flight of 2.
Maple 27.
Delta 350 Super, taxi to runway 22 right, hold short of 15 right 33 left. Taxiing to runway 22 right, will hold short of 15 right 33 left, Delta 350 Super. Delta 350 Super, cross runway 33 left. Crossing runway 33 left, Delta 350 Super. General Edward Tower, Delta 350 Super, ready for departure at runway 22 right, remaining in the pattern. Delta 350 Super, hold short of runway 22 right. Air Canada 985 Charlie Alpha, frequency change approved, good day. Frequency change approved Air Canada 985 Charlie Alpha, good day. Holding short runway 22 right, Delta 350 Super. Air Canada 312 flight of 2, wind 280 at Niner, runway 22 right, cleared for takeoff. General Edward Tower, Air Canada 312 flight of 2, ready for departure at runway 22 right, remaining in the pattern. Turkish 606 Sierra Quebec Heavy, wind 280 at Niner, number 1, runway 22 left, cleared to land. Number 1, cleared to land, runway 22 left, Turkish 606 Sierra Quebec Heavy. Cleared for takeoff, runway 22 right, Air Canada 312 flight of 2. Air Canada 985 Charlie Alpha, frequency change approved, good day. Air Canada 985 Charlie Alpha, frequency change approved, good day. Frequency change approved Air Canada 985 Charlie Alpha, good day.
General Edward Tower, Delta 639 Foxtrot Heavy, inbound on the iOS runway 22 left.
Delta 639 Foxtrot Heavy, continue inbound. Delta 350 Super, line up and wait runway 22 right.
General Edward Tower, Air Canada 756 Alpha Charlie Heavy is 26 nautical miles to the northwest at 11,900 feet, inbound for landing with information Alpha, requesting runway 22 left.
Continuing inbound, Delta 639 Foxtrot Heavy.
Air Canada 756 Alpha Charlie Heavy, continue inbound.
Continuing inbound, Air Canada 756 Alpha Charlie.
Line up and wait runway 22 right, Delta 350 Super. Delta 350 Super, wind 280 at 9er, runway 22 right, cleared for takeoff. Air Canada 312 flight of 2, frequency change approved, good day. Cleared for takeoff, runway 22 right, Delta 350 Super. Thank you, good day, Delta 350 Super. Maple 275, wind 280 at 9er, runway 33 left, cleared for takeoff.
Cleared for takeoff. Runway 33 left, Maple 275.
Delta 350 Super, frequency change approved, good day. Delta 350 Super, thank you. You're welcome, Delta 350 Super. Maple 275, please expedite.
$2,500.
General Edward Tower, JetBlue 3626 is 23 nautical miles to the southeast at 22,800 feet, inbound for landing.
JetBlue 3626, continue inbound.
Continuing inbound, JetBlue 3626.
Maple 275, frequency change approved, good day.
Frequency change approved, Maple 275. Good day.
Air Canada 756 Alpha Charlie Heavy, enter right downwind runway 22 left.
Enter right downwind runway 22 left, Air Canada 756 Alpha Charlie Heavy.
Delta 639 Foxtrot Heavy, enter right downwind runway 22 left. Number 2, traffic to follow is on right downwind.
Enter right downwind, runway 22 left, behind the traffic on right downwind, Delta 639 Foxtrot Heavy.
Turkish 6060 Sierra Quebec Heavy, exit runway when able, contact ground on the taxiway. Windows, Turkish 606 Sierra Quebec Heavy. Turkish 606 Sierra Quebec Heavy, request permission to cross runway 22 right. Turkish 606 Sierra Quebec Heavy, turn left next taxiway. Left on the next taxiway, Turkish 606 Sierra Quebec Heavy. Turkish 606 Sierra Quebec Heavy, cross runway 22 right. Crossing runway 22 right, Turkish 606 Sierra Quebec Heavy. Air Canada 756 Alpha Charlie Heavy, wind 280 at 9er, number 1, runway 22 left, cleared to land. Delta 639 Foxtrot Heavy, wind 280 at 9er, number 2, runway 22 left, cleared to land. General Edward Tower, Air Canada 1283, ready for departure in sequence at runway 33 left, departing straight out.
Number 2, cleared to land, runway 22 left, Delta 639 Foxtrot Heavy.
Number 1, cleared to land, runway 22 left, Air Canada 756 Alpha Charlie Heavy.
Delta 639 Foxtrot Heavy, adjust speed to follow aircraft ahead. Air Canada 1283, wind 280 at 9er, runway 33 left, cleared for takeoff. Cleared for takeoff, runway 33 left, Air Canada 1283.
Adjust speed to follow aircraft ahead, Delta 639 Foxtrot Heavy.
Land Chile 07 Heavy, enter left downwind runway 22 left, number 3, traffic to follow is on right base. Enter left downwind, runway 22 left, behind the traffic on right base, land Chile 07 Heavy. JetBlue 3626, enter left downwind runway 22 left, number 4, traffic to follow is on left downwind.
Enter left downwind, runway 22 left, behind the traffic on left downwind, JetBlue 3626.
Air Canada 756 Alpha Charlie Heavy, maintain 180 knots until 6 mile final.
Maintain 180 knots until 6 mile final, Air Canada 756 Alpha Charlie Heavy.
Air Canada 1283, frequency change approved, good day. Frequency change approved Air Canada 1283, good day. Delta 350 Super, request frequency change. Delta 350 Super, frequency change approved, good day. John F. Kennedy Tower, Delta 350 Super is 24 nautical miles to the northeast at 10,300 feet, inbound for landing. Delta 350 Super, enter left base runway 22 left. Enter left base runway 22 left, Delta 350 Super. Delta 350 Super, wind 230 at 6, number 1, runway 22 left, cleared to land. Delta 1216, frequency change approved, good day. Frequency change approved Delta 1216, good day.
$2,500. $1,000.
John F. Kennedy Tower, Delta 2552.
500.
Ready for departure at runway 22 right, departing north.
Delta 2552, wind 230 at 6, runway 22 right,
400.
cleared for takeoff.
Cleared for takeoff. Runway 22 right, Delta 2552.
200. 100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Singapore 24, taxi to runway 22 right, hold short of 13 left 31 right. Air France 873, pushback approved. Pushback approved, Air France 873. Taxiing to runway 22 right, will hold short of 13 left 31 right, Singapore 24. Delta 350 Super, request permission to cross. Delta 350 Super, cross runway 22 right. Crossing runway 22 right, Delta 350 Super. Air China 218 Sierra Quebec Super, request permission to cross runway 13 left. Air China 218 Sierra Quebec Super, cross runway 31 right. Crossing runway 31 right, Air China 218 Sierra Quebec Super. Attention all aircraft, John F. Kennedy ground is closing in 2 minutes. Singapore 24, request permission to cross runway 13 left. Singapore 24, cross runway 31 right. Crossing runway 31 right, Singapore 24. John F. Kennedy ground, Delta 350 Super, ready for pushback. Delta 350 Super, pushback approved. John F. Kennedy ground, Air France 873, ready to taxi to runway 22 right with information Bravo. Air France 873, taxi to run. John F. Kennedy ground, Delta 350 Super, ready to taxi. Taxiing to runway 22 right, will hold short. Delta 350 Super, taxi to runway 22 right, hold short of 13 left 31 right. Taxiing to runway 22 right, will hold short of 13 left 31 right, Delta 350 Super. Attention all aircraft, John F. Kennedy ground is now closed. Good day. John F. Kennedy traffic, American 96 is clear of all runways. John F. Kennedy traffic, American 96, crossing runway 22 right.